Yes, this application is working as always. I mean, this application is working well, and which is at the same level as source of usual performances, or this level of performance is the same level as the performances of other times anyway. So what am I talking about? Anyway, so I don't have to talk about the performance of this application anyway. So to start with, I insert the advertisement of the advertisement. I mean, advertisement of this application into the beginning of each episode of this podcast, of my podcast. So which is why, there's no option to say that this application is not so good. I have to tell others that this application works really well compared with other applications. Such a thing is which is what I have to say maybe. But actually, I don't care of such a thing anyway. But actually, this application is working well, even for not even for me, but for me actually. And I'm Richard Gon, by the way, so Work to Live podcast version. And so, the name of my podcast is Work to Live. And this time is about, this time is about the alleged prostitutions. Alleged prostitutions, which means, if you have checked out the title of this episode, so those I'm going to talk about are sugar babies. Sugar babies are, the girls or teenagers or young girls anyway, or at their teens or at their 20s or at their early 20s actually. They are maybe the majority of sugar babies must be girls at the age of teens, at their teens or at their early 20s actually, or at their late teens maybe actually. So maybe girls at the age of 13 do not become not sex babies. I thought sugar babies. I'm sorry. So English is complicated for me, and why it's complicated so much is why it is confusing so much for me is that I'm a non-native speaker of English language anyway. So which is if you are frequent listeners of my podcast, or if you are followers of my podcast, I think you have already understood that why I'm really bad at speaking English language, and my mother tongue is really far away from this West European language, and I think so Great Britain is categorized into West European countries, which is why this language is a West European language. I think what I'm saying is correct. And anyway, so sugar babies are what I'm going to talk about anyway. So I thought what to talk about is maybe I should tell you the title and the conclusion of this episode. And the Japanese sugar babies are high skills of sexual intercourse, which is partly true. And the conclusion is Japanese girls who work as sugar babies are serious and diligent. I think such characteristics contribute to their sexual skills. They should find courtesans as their role models. Which is, and so I'm creating a content for raising their incomes, which means I'm creating a content, and this is not a secret, but actually the creation of that content is ongoing, and the purpose I'd like to accomplish with that content is to help those sugar babies to raise their own incomes. And what to do is anyway, so roughly saying prostitutions or sex works are what they have to do, which is of course, that is my opinion, and I don't tell the details about the content of that ongoing content. Anyway, about that content of ongoing article, which is what I'm creating. And anyway, but actually, so if you do not understand sugar babies and sugar daddies and sister daddies, there are such terms. And maybe if you are European people, you may not know what the meanings of sugar daddies and sugar babies, and the singular form of those words are so singular, not singular, but sugar daddy and sugar baby. And sugar baby is a girl, or in most cases sugar baby is a girl, and sugar daddy is a old man, or not at in their 40s, 50s, 60s, maybe not 70s actually. So anyway, so what they're going to do with in that relationship between sugar daddy and sugar baby is that so sugar daddy or the old man pay money for the sugar baby who is a girl, or who is a pretty girl, or who is a cute or who is a pretty girl, or beautiful lady. Anyway, please imagine such a situation, and those girls and those ladies are young actually, and so the old man pay money for the young girl, and that girl is really beautiful, and they have some meals, and afterwards is so sexual intercourse, which is and that is alleged one. There's such an allegation that those two people have sexual intercourse in exchange for money, which means so in exchange for money means so the man pays money for that lady, or for that girl, and in turn, or in exchange for that money, that girl serves that man with sexual services. Anyway, that girl gives that man how sexual services, and which is why so, and Japanese people are diligent, and so industrious, and which is why so if they try to study if they try to study sexual plays, or if they train themselves to become to acquire high skills of sexual intercourse, those Japanese sexual, not sexual babies, but sugar babies can get higher skills of sexual intercourse or sex plays compared with other people, other people, or other sugar babies living in other countries. I'm sorry for my clumsy explanation, or staggering explanation, but actually it was I have stutter when speaking the English language, but actually such a thing is what I'd like to tell you this time. And how should I say? So there's nothing else to tell you actually. And in terms, when it comes to why I began to talk about this, I tried to talk about this, but actually anyway, so that's popular. What is popular is maybe your question, but actually what is popular is a type of prostitution, or is a type of dating in which the participants are old men and young girls, or young ladies actually, and they date, or all the men, I mean, so, not all the poor, or not all the impoverished men, but actually, all the rich men, those men have to be rich, because, they pay money for those young girls, and which is why, those all the men have to be rich people. And so, if you are a man, but if you do not have money, so you can't become sugar daddies, because, sugar daddies have to be rich people. And that is popular, because, so, this country is poorer compared with the past. So which is why, so, young people do not have money, and it's not especially, but actually, young girls do not have money, and young boys do not have money, and, their parents do not have money, which is why, they have to or they have to make money by themselves for example, for getting the diplomas of universities, which means, so, they have to graduate from their universities, which is why, they need to make money in some ways, and which is why, so, some girls have found those ways, which are, prostitutions, or which are dating services, and, they get some clients who are, of course, who are sugar daddies, who are, all the rich men, yeah, or elderly rich men, who are, anyway, so, that's, so, more explanation is not necessary, I think, and I don't think more explanation is necessary, anyway, so, so which is how, those young girls can get money from those old rich men, and, so which is how, young girls can graduate from those young girls can get the diplomas of university degrees. I don't know whether, this usage of English words is correct or not, but actually, telling you the entire scheme, or telling you I don't know the entire scheme, but actually, telling you the outline about or on the relationship between sugar babies and sugar daddies. There is such a relationship, which is really close to, or which is exactly those of prostitutions, anyway, which is why, so that has become a fairly huge problem in my country, and that is also a problem in the United States. The United States is the birthplace of sugar daddies and sugar babies, and, so which means sugar babies contribute to the satisfaction of those sugar daddies, which means, so, young, for example, young cute white girls, they date, all the rich men, and she can get money from many, all the rich men, and which is how, she can graduate from American universities, or which is how she can get the diploma of her own university, or, in the case of graduate school, she can get the master degree, or she can get the diploma of graduate school of our university, anyway. And because such a system was given birth to, such a system was created, because, as you know, American universities are expensive, which means, so, so fees are necessary for becoming, or for enrolling in universities, which is how should I say, which is a natural cases, and, every country requires fees, certain amounts of fees to enroll, or for students to enroll in universities, or in university courses, or in the curriculums of universities, and which means, but actually, so, in the case of the universities in United States, the necessary fees are really expensive, and so, $40,000 a year is what I have heard of, which is the price of university, which is the price of enrolling in universities one year for a year per year. And I don't know the exact data, or I don't know the details about the fees necessary to become and to graduate from the universities in the United States. But actually, anyway, so American universities are expensive, and Japanese universities are not so expensive in that aspect. But actually, anyway, young people do not have money, which is why such a system of sugar daddy and sugar baby was introduced into Japanese society. And by the way, I live in Japan, and which is why I created this content. Which is why I created this episode, and I'm creating a written article for raising the incomes of those sugar babies. Anyway, so they are sugar daddies and sugar babies, and I often get confused with sugar ladies or sugar girls, or sex ladies or sex girls with the correct term sugar babies. Anyway, but actually so I don't think it's necessary to explain anymore. So I'm thinking of ending this episode. Wait a moment, please. So the title is Japanese sugar babies have high skills of sexual intercourse, which is partly true. And the conclusion is Japanese girls who work as sugar babies are serious and diligent. I think such characteristics contribute to their sexual skills. They should find courtesans as their role models. So I thought to tell you the meaning of courtesans. Courtesans are prostitutes who have higher incomes, or who have very high incomes, which are courtesans. So poor prostitutes are not courtesans. Rich prostitutes are courtesans, and courtesans have many clients who are extremely rich and influential people, and which is why courtesans could become richer. Anyway, they were doing their own businesses in 19th century in most cases, or 19th century, or more distant past. Anyway. Or in the older time. Anyway, so roughly saying, so they maybe but actually so in the case of sugar babies, they are really similar to so courtesans, which is why I found courtesans good models, for suitable models for sugar babies. Anyway. And why I said Japanese, so partly saying, or partly or some Japanese, so sugar babies have high skills of sexual intercourse, and the reason is that roughly saying, it's up to each sugar baby. So some sugar babies have high skills of sexual intercourse, and the others do not. Others may have higher skills of communication, or higher skills of talking, and such people do not need high skills of sexual technique. But actually if there are some sugar ladies who are not so good at talking, or speaking out, or entertaining with conversations, they need to rely on, or they need to depend on their sexual skills for satisfying the clients, or sugar daddies. So which is why so it's up to each sugar baby whether they have high skills of sexual intercourse or not. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening. See you.